Before we start, if you would put up your phones on silent or vibrate. First order of business, we call the meeting to order, and we do have a quorum. Our first order is election of a chair.
David is rolling off of the board. He has decided to help us out and stay until we can fill his position. If he is voted as chair or vice chair, we would have to do the election again once his position has been filled. Stacy Elkins is still on the board. She just could not be here today. And we are looking to fill another position to replace Kenna, the historian. So we do have an open position, just to give you an idea of who to vote for, who to make a motion for.
Okay. I guess we'll start with the election of chair. Can I get a nomination?
I'll nominate Chris Forbes. Thank you.
Okay. Can we get a second?
I'll second that nomination.
We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Well, now we will go to election of vice chair.
She can take over now.
Oh, okay, that's it, yeah. Wow. I'm done. There you go. That was quick.
And for the record,
Fast.
you do accept, is that right?
I will accept, thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. So now I think we need to get a motion for election of a vice chair, correct? Any motions?
I'll nominate Luke.
Great.
I'll
Any
second it.
seconds? Great, okay. All in favor of Luke being the vice chair? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's official. Thank you.
And for the record, you do accept, is that right?
I do accept
Thank you,
the
sir.
nomination. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, so I'd like to open it up for public comment.
We do not have any public comment. Nobody signed up for any public comment. And I do know the applicant is not here for one of them. Oh, for either case. So we don't have any public comment at all whatsoever.
Okay, so we'll move into the regular agenda. Our first case, do I read the case number? Do I just
Yes.
read the case number? So CA 26-01, it's 639 South Chadburn. And I read the whole, okay. Yes, please help me. Thank you. Okay. A request for a certificate of appropriateness to repair the existing facade and exterior structure to mirror a 1920s speakeasy style, pave the back parking lot adjacent to the rear alley, install a marquee style awning at the front and back entrances, and install a mural on the internal side of the back fence for a property located at 639 South Chadburn.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Arden, planner. Today we've got this case at 629 South Chadburn. As you so wonderfully mentioned, they are looking to do kind of a full renovation of the structure. They are applying for TIERS funds, and they're looking for this to preempt that journey to TIERS. So they're looking for a front facade repair, and since there's a back alley out behind them, that's also subject to the same conditions, so we're also looking at rear repair today, paving the back space for like visiting and for employee space, as well as painting a mural, as well as removing some awning structures and replacing them. So I wanted to start first with the conditions that the building kind of has right now. So this is 639 South Chadburn as you walk next to it. They've got this big metal building, metal wall kind of taking up half of it, boarding it up. Let me see if I can make this work. I guess not. That's okay though. Whoa. I guess we'll look at the back now. No, I'm kidding. They have a little bit of tiling, and then they have currently painted brick. Whenever we look at the back of the lot from that back alley, we see a very large carport structure. It's kind of caving in. We see more metal wall at the back. And over there on the first picture to the right, you see that metal fence that they have proposed a mural on that I will show you in just a moment. So this is the current condition. And what they have, the reason that they're coming to you as a historic property for a certificate of approval, a certificate of appropriateness, is that this was rezoned to be a non-contributing historic building in 2010 as part of an old town district for 26 acres. And it was cited that it exhibits an early 1900s architectural style. There's nothing specifically mentioning this property in any of the surveys that we have. I don't have photographs of earlier style and architecture for this property, but the surrounding areas hold that kind of 1920s marquee style and that Spanish colonial revival. So this is the proposed work. We have a couple of renderings for the front. They would like to remove that faux wall on the left side, that metal wall. They want to repair that existing brick facade and bring that paint color from up above down the sides. Remove whatever sign projections they have currently on that building and replace it with a projecting sign for their business. They want to replace that wood framing. It is completely dilapidated. They'll have to completely redo it. They want to do a black wood framing, color swatches to follow. And then they want to install cedar doors and place a flat awning and projecting sign pole out above it. So this is what's going on at the front. These are the color palettes that they have. For the wood awning and the framing, they have little black dress. For the back facade of the building, it's completely covered right now with a metal wall. They'll have to take it down and see the conditions. That's going to be heavy cream. And then at the front facade, they're going to use the color that's existing. That's sandy clay, and they're going to extend it down. This is a concept rendering for the front facade. This is an example of a cedar door that they hope to find. This is imagery of how they'd like to have untinted kind of open windows for people to experience walking by and having a barbershop, looking in, seeing that kind of communal gathering space and the welcoming black wood frame facade. As for the back, they are looking to take down that metal structure in the bottom right and pave the back area. So that picture on the left shows how they like to pave it. They like to have grass and paving. And then they would like to install a mural celebrating Latin heritage on that metal fence that currently exists. So this is a rendering of what they would like to do on the fence that currently exists at that property. They want it to be a Dia de los Muertos theme. The applicant was not able to provide specifics on a rendering of what they'd like to do at this awning. He's still looking to contract and still looking to find. With that, staff does recommend approval of the restructuring of the property, the renovations, the awning at the front, subject to 3 conditions, which is that they are consistent with whatever you guys specify here today, that they receive an encroachment agreement for anything that falls over public right-of-way, including that sign and including that awning, and that they will have to get a permit for all renovations and construction with our permits division. And the applicant did intend to be here, but I guess was not able to show up, so I guess whatever opinions you guys have and whatever research you guys feel, we will move from there. We'll proceed as such without the applicant today. Do you guys have questions for me?
Can I see the original picture of the building?
The
as
building
is now?
as it is today? Yes.
Yeah.
If I had my little, oh, look at that, yes. I can do my magnifying
that-
glass.
David, here's a close-up.
That is
That
all,
bottom part is just framed, looks like.
this is all brick.
Oh, it's all tile.
One piece of it is yellow, and then yes, this is brick that has been covered by red ceramic tile. And then in there, we can also see this dilapidated wood framing.
Okay, so they're gonna frame all that back out of wood.
And there was commentary, that the intent is to keep the openings the same, But in the process of renovating and switching out that existing wood framing for the little black dress painted wooden framing, that they would take any bricks that were removed in that process and use that to restore whatever they find on the left side of that building. So the applicant was unsure of how to,
So right now, we don't know if there's double doors behind that wall right now. We don't really have a picture of what it was originally.
there's no
don't have
picture that
anything
we
like
have
that?
of what it was originally.
Wow. I mean, I like the concept of what they're doing.
The scale of the building looks like it could be a single door easier than a double door.
I know, that's what I mean. So are they gonna change, is all that gonna change the other windows and all that? Can you bring up the revised deal they're gonna do? Okay, so they're gonna keep the transoms up there. Well, yeah, they're going back with 2 windows now on each side instead. It looks like it has 1 right now.
It does.
Yeah, it looks like it has 1,
It's a single.
because that building's not that wide. So they're just doing clear glass, they're not doing mirror glass, which is not allowed.
They are not doing mirror glass.
And I guess the windows, we don't know, are they wood, are they aluminum? We don't know.
Now, since this is not part of the downtown historic district, right? So what are our, can you kind of clarify sort of what our purview is here? I mean,
Right.
It doesn't have as strict a
Yes, that is,
requirements, right, as a contributing historic building in the,
yes, that is a
On
great
Chadbourne.
question. Technically, because this is a non-contributing historic building, it is not subject to the same extent of review as a typical certificate of appropriateness is. In our ordinance, we clarify that only demolitions or properties that are medium or higher have very specific reviews where we go in and we compare them to surveys and the river corridor design, master plan, and several other specifications about how they're building. But since this is a non-contributing, technically this is subject to a review that's very similar to the design district review, which is where we're looking at kind of general aesthetic builds and whether we welcome this in this area.
Well, this probably falls into the same line, because we just approved the one down the street, and they did aluminum windows and all that stuff on it.
Yes.
So on the awning, I know we had talked about this earlier, do we have any information what the underneath of the awning's gonna be? Did they get anything back to you on that, or is there gonna be any lights under there, or?
The applicant does intend to recess lights under the awning, but was unable to get me material swatches or a rendering of what it's going to look
We don't
like,
know
or
if it's
photographs of
metal,
what
we
they
don't know
intend
what
for it to look
What it's
like.
gonna be under there.
Yeah. They do intend to recess that lighting underneath. That's what was communicated to me, as well as to place spotlights up above the awning to externally light that projecting sign to give it kind of a retro feel, so that way it stays true to that railroad heritage 1920s speakeasy style, but there were no specifications given for the lighting.
It's a pretty nebulous design class.
Do what?
I said, that's a pretty nebulous design class, speakeasy. Normally, those were hidden so that no one could find them. It does have good historic material left, and it is typical storefront from the period that it was built.
Yeah.
So the transom windows, the windows, and probably what was wood below it at one time.
I mean, I'm looking at it like we could maybe approve some demolition and then come back for everything else. We don't know what's underneath it or how, you know, he has to make decisions after he tears it down.
We did discuss that. The applicant and I discussed that. He preferred to move forward with what he had submitted. But we did discuss the idea that in order to actually get a sense of what needed to be done at the property, maybe the best solution was to move forward with the demolition and then actually take inventory of the state of things, get into the building, and then come back with a more realistic idea of what's possible. But he wanted to see what the opinion was on this current design.
Well, the problem with that, though, he wants to get tiers,
Yes.
and he has to get approval from us first.
That is true.
And so I don't feel comfortable approving this, because I don't know there's a lot of unknowns on this thing.
And so to clarify, I have communicated with our tiers liaison, and the board is open for applications through March. So this is not the last meeting before tiers offers its final, like the tiers window closes. It would be possible to table this for certain elements or to table it entirely and to come back.
Because even in the back where he wants to do that mural, we don't know. I think this, for some reason, this seemed like this came before us once before, because I remember that mural being, somebody wanted to paint that back there, so we don't know, is he gonna put new wood up? Is he painting it on that metal? I mean, what's gonna happen back there? 'Cause there, it looks like it's a finished wall,
Right.
but that's not what they've got, so we don't know what they're doing there.
There may be a mural at the building next door.
There is a mural
backyard.
on the side of the brick of that building on the corner.
That's right.
Yeah, that's Judy Rangin's building, but this is a whole different deal. I mean, to me, I'd feel more comfortable tabling this till we have more information. That's just my thought. I just don't feel comfortable. There's just a lot of stuff we don't know.
What happens if you
And-
start demolition and then,
Well, no,
is that,
they
you can't
can't.
really do that? It'd be harder,
I guess they could do that. I mean, we don't have any control over that.
because if he doesn't do that, then is he gonna know any more?
Well,
I do
yeah, we
believe-
too.
I
Yeah,
do
we
believe
too.
that-
They can't do that until,
I do believe that demolition
approve
for, demolition for structures of non-contributing does still need to be approved. So it definitely is something that has to be stated by you guys. But with tiers, just to clarify, I do think that with tiers, they are allowed to go ahead with work now. The stipulations have been amended so that way they can start work. It would not be that he got approved for demolition that he couldn't complete until, months out, years out.
well, generally on tiers, they don't want any construction done until it's approved through their board,
Yeah.
and then the money is allocated.
I'm concerned about asking them to demo stuff out and then potentially leave that building open to the elements to, people
Well,
who went in
they
there, animals and stuff like that. I mean, like, ask them to demo it out so that we can see more.
Well, but they could just plywood it up. I mean, there may be windows on the other side of there if they just pull that plywood down.
Well, I'm fairly
I mean,
certain
they're gonna
there
have
are.
to secure it anyway. They're not gonna wanna leave it
Well, I don't
open.
think it takes a lot of imagination.
Well, no, I'm not
to
talking
see
about the back.
No, I'm talking about the front. I don't think
Yeah.
it takes a lot of imagination to see what the
Yeah,
remainder of
that.
that opening is there, right? And how it
Yeah.
does match with their rendering.
Exactly. That's why I don't have a problem. If we could stipulate, they can go ahead and take that off so we can get more information on it. Not demo the whole thing, but at least pull that front facade off, that plywood, then we can see what's there. Is that? Well, they'll have to. It may be what they have though. We don't know.
Do we know if the applicant would be in agreement to table this item in its entirety, or would it be preferred to table a portion of the item?
I think, in all fairness, the applicant is not here, so I can't do much but speak on his behalf. We did have that conversation. I did clarify that with so few specifications and real materials, it was very likely that this might get tabled, and he was understanding of that. His intent was to be here today to answer those questions, but that being said, he did understand that it was likely. I do know that he would prefer, I think in general, people would prefer that not everything get tabled, let me do something, but he was aware of what could happen at this meeting.
I mean, from the inside, you can see you'd be able to see what the openings of there are. He doesn't need to take that whole thing down. And so, how come that rendering that he has isn't adequate, given that we,
Yeah, maybe he could just take some pictures of the inside so we could see it. And, I don't want to hold him up either, but if he's got another month before Tiers comes up, if he'll we'll table it, bring it back to us with a little more, some more better pictures, we can see what it is. And then I don't have a problem with that. Do you?
I mean, I think it's fine how it is. I'm all for approving this as is. I don't see any more information that we need, honestly, but you guys, I'll let y'all make that motion, but, I mean, I think this is, as far as the rendering goes, I think it's more information than we get a lot of times, so.
We can always maybe table a portion of it, like the awning and the sign or something for the lighting and the materials? And see if, no? Suggestion?
I just don't see that facade fitting in that area that he has with that design. I don't see it. That building is not that big. So I don't know.
Kind of interesting. You can see where they did a pull-out for a single door. This is, I just went by and took a picture of it, and there's a single
you're saying,
door
though. I
that's
mean, you're right,
padlocked
that's
there,
not-
but there's space
Yeah, the scale
beside
is
it.
not big enough to fit everything that he's showing on that picture, because we have no dimensions on anything.
Yes, he was
If we had
unable to get
we could figure it
dimensions.
out, but there's just not enough information here. Because look, you got 2 feet on that one side where that tile is, so that makes it even smaller, or 18 inches, something like that.
Yeah, but is that a 3.0 door right there? I mean, right, if that's a 3.0 door,
Whoa, sorry.
right?
Yeah.
Or even say that's 30 inches.
There's 7 4x4 tiles across the right-hand side.
Well, if he gets into it and it's only one door, then where's the drawing for that? Do we need to approve in case there's not 2 doors?
What's
And he
that?
just wants to do 1 door?
Right.
Do we need a rendering of option B?
Well, I think the biggest issue I have with it, we don't know what the awning is, we don't know what the lighting is, we don't know what he's doing in the back. You know, even if all this, if we approve it, then we approved everything. That's where I have a problem, because we did one of these like this, and then when I went and looked at the awning after they did it, it was nothing like what we approved. That's where I think we're gonna get into trouble. If we don't specify exactly what they're gonna do, then there's no recourse, because we approve what they're showing, but we don't have enough information to verify that and say, look, this is not what we approved. And they'll say, well, how would we come back and say, well, you didn't put metal under that awning when we have no idea what he's doing?
That
Because
is
it's not
true.
specified on any sheet that we have. I know I'm nitpicking it, but, you know, this thing can get out of hand real easily, and that's what happens. And
But for a non-contributing building that's not in a historic downtown,
It is subject to review. That is, it is similar to the design, the downtown district review, the same way that we
Well, I
would
think
review a
the-
building as
you
though
know,
it was in the downtown
That's
district.
just my thought. I mean, I think that people that bring these to our board need to know they have to have a lot of information for us to vote on it. That's just my thinking. The rest of the board, you know, do what you want, but that's my thought. I think we're jeopardizing what this board is about. You might as well just rubber stamp everything.
Yeah, I like to get into that lighting and get into that sign and really detail, what are we, is it, you know, is it a can light, is it a backlight? Like we're missing all of that.
Yeah, I do personally, I do think it is feasible to approve components if that's what the board was interested in. A partial denial of components, asking that they come back in the future with more materials. For example, the painting of the brick or the demolition of the demolition that they're asking for the faux metal building. And then maybe we could speak a little bit on the record about the types of materials that would need to be given back for a non-contributing review in the historic overlay, like the widths or the imagery of the awning and the materials for the lighting.
I have a question to staff. You know, we review these before these are brought to us, and a lot of this information was presented to the applicant, or supposed to have been,
Yes.
before it was brought to us. And so, isn't there any safeguard that says, you know, what we need information on, and then you relay it to them? If they can't get it to us in a timely manner, that it's just gonna have to come and put it on hold and do it
That is
again.
exactly
I
right,
mean,
that for historic overlay review, there is a very long list of specifics that we do ask for. It's items A through F, and
No, I
I do.
understand that, but even now,
Yeah.
you know, I think staff knew that this information wasn't going to be presented, because he never got back to you on it. And so I think it should have not, this should not even have been on our case.
I do think that it's insufficient for a review of the historic overlay, but I'd like to reiterate that because this is non-contributing, it's not subject to the same review that we typically do for a certificate of appropriateness. And so it does not require the same extent of elevations and materials. It's a little bit of a gray area to do a review like design district, where it is just asking for aesthetic approval. And so while we did absolutely communicate the intent of the board and the way that the board has treated cases such as this, it was a little bit of a nebulous case for such a large undertaking in a non-contributing historic building. And while we did stress that material, the applicant did really want to gauge opinions on this and did intend to be here to answer questions.
And
No,
I will
understand.
say on staff, there is nothing in the ordinance or the downtown guidelines that allows us to say, no, you have to have this. If we let them know what we have heard from the board and they still want to move forward, we don't have the option to say, no, you can't. So it is kind of, sometimes they have to hear it from the board. Other times, their intent was to be here with some of this information because we told them and everything, and they, okay, we'll bring it to the meeting, and something must have happened.
If it's a denial from us, do they come back completely, restart, repay the whole 9 yards?
No, not if we table it.
If you
Okay.
table
If we
it,
just table it
Okay.
until we have more
Table it, okay.
information.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is just my thought. The rest of the board can, I'd like to hear what they have to say. It's just my thinking on it.
Yeah, it's definitely a
I
gray
mean, we
area
did
between
one
the
to
two.
left
It's
of
hard.
that, and it went through the same review this is going through, so I don't see the difference where we just like hammer them and then just let the next one, well, we're, whatever you want to do. That's what it seems like to me. I think we need to be very consistent about what we do.
You know, I can see both sides of it here. I don't see any harm in tabling it and trying to get as much information on it as possible.
Yeah,
I think
because
that-
like I said,
I don't see any harm in trying to do it that way and getting the information.
because I think the biggest deal is they want to get this approved so they can get tiers money. So if they have another month to get, it's not going to stifle them if we table it now. They still have time to get it to tiers. That's my thinking, so.
And just bring us more information from the inside or what they want to put in the back for the mural. Some specifics like that, and I think this would be easily approved. I like the whole idea of it all, but I do kind of agree that it wouldn't be a good idea just to say, go ahead and do it and rubber stamp it and with some of these questions that we have, so.
Because I don't really think, just because it's not in the historical district, to me, we still got to be diligent to what we're doing down there.
Well, it's in the
I think it's a
cultural
great
district.
design. I don't have a problem with it at all.
Yeah.
But I would like to make a motion that we table this till we get more information from staff, till the next meeting.
And if I may, if we are tabling it, did you want to provide some guidelines on what you're looking for to bring back with your motion?
We've already, well, I think staff has that information already, because we review these projects before they come to our board, and all that was given to them, so the applicant knows. But if we need to stipulate that now, we can.
it would be helpful to have it on record, so we can
Okay,
say this is
then
what
I
they
would like to
said.
see what's gonna go up underneath the awning, the lighting. I would like to have dimensions on the front of that building, a little more detail, if we can see pictures from the inside to see what the actual facade is right now. And then on the back, whatever they're gonna do with that metal fence, are they gonna put stucco it, plaster it, they're gonna put metal on it before they paint that mural on it? As far as the mural goes, the content doesn't matter to us. It's just the fact that they're gonna put a mural on it. That's my thinking.
In your motion, are you approving any type of demolition? Or
Excuse me?
in your motion, are you tabling the whole item?
Yes.
Or is it a
Yes,
partial?
I'm tabling the whole item.
So no demolition?
No.
Okay.
I would add
Unless they can just pop
signage.
that front off.
details.
If they can pop that plywood off so we can just see, then I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, because even if they take it off, if there's holes there, they're gonna have to plywood it up anyway. Or if they could take it off, take a picture and get it to staff so you could see what it looks like, or do one from the inside, you know,
I don't think
just to
that,
see what we're working with.
just as a caveat, I don't think that taking that metal wall off to take a photo would be allowed to be permitted without approval
No, no,
from here. So he would not be
all I care
permitted
about is
to.
his front. The back doesn't, that doesn't matter.
I don't see a sign request approval in here anyway, so
Yeah,
it's just
the sign, because it's most likely under 50 square foot, could be admin.
Yeah.
It was more just the placement of the pole.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great design. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
That's you?
Can we call for a vote? Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I'm writing my notes for minutes later.
Okay, so we'll move on to regular agenda item B, DD 26-02, 305 West Tuick. A request for approval of design to replace existing single-pane windows with double-pane, matching intent, replacement of wood trim with color-matched vinyl frame to repair exterior wood rot, and repainting of the building exterior from within the historic color palette for a property located at 305 West Tuick.
Sorry, you read faster than I write my notes. Okay. Hello, everybody. This is 305 West Tuick, Arden, planner. This is a design district review. As you stated, this is a request to repair some aesthetics to the building. They want to repaint it in a very similar color that is slightly more cream. And then they would like to take out their single pane windows and install energy efficient double pane windows with the same tint, same color. And then they would like to replace the wood framing with vinyl to match, so same colors. This is the current condition. So this is a photograph of the building at 305 West Tuig. As I said, they're looking to take this yellow color and repaint it with a slightly more beige color, which the swatch is attached towards the end. And then these are photos of the existing root rot that they're looking to repair by swapping out that wood framing with a vinyl replacement. This is an example of the swatch. This is what they have. They have the colors with us to be approved. And then this is a photograph of that vinyl window that they are placing within that. Every single window.
Is that the windows on the house now?
That is the windows currently on the house right now. They have replaced it with vinyl. They are also tiers eligible. So this is also for a tiers project to repaint the house and to replace the windows. The windows do currently have the vinyl wood framing, the vinyl framing replaced within them. We do also have imagery of all of the specifications for those windows. Those are included in the staff report because there's 30 some odd windows in the house and every single one of them is getting replaced in kind, but it is the white vinyl framing. So with that, for the design district, staff does recommend approval subject to the conditions that they act in alignment with whatever specifications you guys give here today and that they apply for and receive any necessary permits. And the applicant is also here if you have questions specific to them.
Arden, could we go back?
You know,
Could we go back and look at color swatch? That
Yes,
slide. Okay, it says accent,
Yes, ma'am.
and then it says main, so the accent color would be the kind of black?
Yes. If we'd like to ask a question specific to the applicant, I'd be happy to call the applicant up.
Okay.
Yes, let's do that. That would be great. Okay.
Can you go to the picture of the facade?
For sure.
So all the windows in the house now are internal grid windows, they're not true divided light?
Would you like to come up?
Yeah, please come state your name.
Yes,
Thank you.
Misty Smith. Smith, Morning J Antiques. Could you repeat the question,
Yeah,
please?
are all the windows in the house now, are they internal grids or are they true divided light where the mullions are on the outside of the window?
Ooh, good question. I think right now they're on the outside.
Okay, but now you're gonna do internal grids?
Yes, yes.
See, that changes the whole concept of that house, but this isn't in the historical district so,
Because right now, those are not vinyl windows, they're wood trim
yeah.
windows.
No,
with
I'm talking about
wood.
the grids, like the squares on the inside, are they between the glass?
Oh,
Or are they are they divided where they has wood on the, like an old style
no,
window?
okay.
I thought the
so-
picture that y'all showed was, yeah, that window, is that the one on the house now?
Okay, that's gonna be,
That's not the window. Yeah, it is,
Oh,
because
there's a reflection.
the bank's across the street. So that is the window.
so that would be the side.
You have to talk into the microphone.
They're internal grid.
Ma'am.
They are. And that's the bank, so that's gotta be, they are. They're internal grid, so that's what you're gonna do?
Same,
Same,
yes,
okay,
same
that's fine.
look, just something a
Okay.
little more energy efficient,
Sure.
and there's some that have cracks. Those are original from the house, which I believe was in 1948, built in
Well,
1948.
no, those wouldn't be, those have been replaced.
Well, some of them have, but like in the sunroom, those
Mm-hmm.
are all original.
Yeah, that bay window, I think that has a true divided. So
Yes.
everything is gonna be internal grids now.
Yes. Well, they told me on the sunroom, and I have that they would make it look exactly like it does. I don't have a picture of the back, but you apparently know, oh, you
That's
mean
all
that.
internal grid.
Okay. Yeah, the front of the house, right here, these front 4 windows have been replaced. So those are still, the upstairs, any of them facing here, these are
Yeah. okay.
replaced. Any of them from the back on have not.
That's my only question.
Okay, any other questions?
So where's you had a question, where's the black trim gonna go? Around the
Oh,
windows?
see the
or-
shutters? No, it'll still be the white trim, but the shutters, the accents will be black.
Oh,
It'll pretty much look the
Okay.
same as it does now.
okay.
And is this property, the purpose, is it a residence? Or is
No,
this-
it's an antique store and gift shop right now currently, and then I have a property in the back, which is Southwest Tel Supply, another business of mine. Eventually, I would like Southwest Tel to go by the wayside, and I do something more interesting with that back building.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
All
thanks.
right, open it for discussion.
I don't know, I think it seems like for like, and that's fine with me, yeah.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Second?
Okay, all in favor of aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Takes us to announcements. The next regular meeting of the Design and Historic Review Commission is scheduled to begin Thursday, March the 19th, 2026 at 10 a.m. in the East Mezzanine City Hall, 72 West Concho.
So the only thing I want to add is this meeting is scheduled during spring break. Is anybody expecting to take vacations during spring break? That they know of? Okay. That was my only question. Looking.
Okay.
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 Oh, and I did want to introduce, we have a new planning tech, Daniel Williams. He's right there. So if you hear or see him, he'll be around a lot more.
Great. Thank you. Great job. Adjourned. Can I make a motion to adjourn the meeting? All in favor, aye? Yes.
Aye.
Great. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you all.